Yeah, so this is me in post-production. Before we actually start the video, I want to shout out a couple of content creators that I think deserve more attention and recognition. I want to start shouting out smaller channels in the Xeno community to help them grow, because I'm trying to grow in the Xeno community and I want to help others do the same, and I just want to see this community grow the best that it can. So please go check out Xenobits, Link-A-Lot, and Temmie J. All of their links will be in the description. And especially go check out my good friend, my homie Prez. He's been a childhood friend of mine, and it would mean the world to him if you went over there and checked out his content and maybe dropped a subscription. So go check out all of these goats in the description. And with that, let's get into the video. Okay, holy shit. I don't even... It feels so surreal doing this again. This is part 3. I started this iceberg like 2 months ago, and bro, I can't believe I'm actually doing this now, but I feel kind of bad because I said I would upload a part to the iceberg every week, and I did part 1 and 2, and then the third part I just never did for whatever reason, and it's been like 2 months, so I think it's about time to do part 3. But yeah, this is the third part to the Xenoblade Chronicles Iceberg. If you haven't seen the first 2 parts, I have a playlist of them and they're in there, so go watch those. But yeah, we're going to be continuing with it here, and hopefully this one will be a lot better than the last 2, considering I'm getting better at making videos. So without further ado, let's get into part 3 of the Xenoblade Chronicles Iceberg. The first point on tier 3 is you can't retreat if you are to seize the future. This is the message in the story memo during the prologue of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. In the bottom right corner, the story memo is that little menu in the bottom right corner shown in this screenshot here. And since we can't open the story memo during the prologue, this line of dialogue goes unused. But if we were able to open the story memo during the dialogue, this piece of text would be displayed there. Zanza couldn't see any further because he couldn't see past his death. Near the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, Zanza is having visions about the Talithia attacking Colony 9, and then Shulk in the party confronting him and fighting him, but he's not able to see anything past that. The reason is because he can't see past his death. Shulk kills Zanza during their final fight, and Zanza is frustrated and confused as to why the visions stop there, and it's because he can't see anything past his death. And I will be playing the cutscene for you here right now.
Why? Why can I not see any further? Now that I possess both Monados, I should be at one with the passage of fate. Why does the vision end here? Huh? So Dixon has passed. Lorithia too. How can this be? Are Talithia growing weak? How could they be defeated by such worthless mortals?
This world belongs to you all. Create a world with no need for gods.
A world that has no need for gods. There is no world without a god. This world belongs to me!
Elvis's claymore is a recolored junk sword. During, I'm pretty sure, chapter 4 or 5, when Shulk is fighting the Telethia after Elvis teaches Shulk Monado Purge or unlocks Monado Purge, Elvis is fighting the Telethia alongside Shulk, and Elvis's claymore is literally just a junk sword but recolored. On screen, seen here, the junk sword is more of a reddish, like pink salmon type of color, and Elvis's junk sword is just like a bluish version of that. So Elvis literally just uses a junk sword, just a recolored junk sword with an unbeatable 6 gem on it. The Monado expedition is actually a little bit interesting, as a little bit of backstory for it. The Monado expedition team, along with Shulk and his parents, set out to find the Monado, and they eventually found it in Osei Tower in Valak Mountain. That's where the Monado was resting at. But later on, when Dixon had found the expedition team, everyone was dead except for Shulk. Shulk was the only survivor, and quoted by Dixon himself later on in the game, he said, "The people who found the Monado and freed it awoke Zanza. He sucked the life from them so he could live. Shulk was among them." So basically, when Zanza awoke, he kind of like attacked them with ether and just drained all of their life force and like planted himself into Shulk, and that's why Shulk was the only one left alive, because he was inhabiting Zanza, or Zanza was inhabiting Shulk. This one isn't anything really lore wise, but where does the party store all the collectibles and materials? It's just like a little fun thing to think about. Like, obviously there's no like in-game explanation for it. Obviously the real world explanation, there really is none, because it's just a gameplay thing. But say in universe, if this was actually a thing, like where do the party actually do store all of their collectibles and materials? Maybe, I don't know, I like to think that it's just kind of like ether, and whenever they need it, they just accumulate it or materialize it from the ether into actual collectibles or materials. Again, this isn't really anything too major, it's just something fun to think about. This is a line said by Dixon in Satoru Marsh after him, Atharon, and the party are all together. Once the party leaves to go up through Magna Forest, or Satoru Marsh up into Magna Forest, after they leave and he starts walking back with Atharon, Dixon says, "Can't say I feel so good about deceiving these kids." And this is actually like really well thought out and clever foreshadowing, because obviously there's spoilers in this video, but later on in the game you find out that Dixon is actually a disciple of Zanza and has been working with Zanza this entire time, and obviously betrays Shulk in the party later on in the game. And when he says, "Can't say I feel so good about deceiving these kids," to Shulk in the party, for all they know, Zanza is just, or Dixon rather, Dixon is just a childhood friend. Dixon has always been there in Colony 9 to help out Shulk and everyone else, so for all they know, Dixon is their friend and fellow Colony 9 resident. However, they don't know that he's actually a disciple of Zanza, and Dixon actually kind of feels bad about deceiving these kids, Shulk, Ryan, and the party. he feels bad about like hiding his identity and having to lead the party on eventually to, to Zanza, so Zanza can kill them. And so it seems like Zanza is, or Dixon, I don't know why I keep saying Zanza, but Dixon is self-aware of what's happening, and he kind of feels bad. He's kind of grown a connection with Shulk in the party, and he feels bad for what he's doing. But the foreshadowing and Xenoblade, the whole series, just all of Xeno is just absolutely incredible. It is immaculate.
Can't say I feel so good about deceiving these kids.
What's that you say?
So we all know the infamous Colony 9 or Colony 6 reconstruction, and Juju asks for a bunch of different collectibles and like bugs and animals for, in order to level up certain parts of Colony 6. But what does he actually do with the bugs and animals? Like, obviously, like in universe, what does he actually do with the bugs and animals? What is he using them for? Like, it's just like the whole like collectible and material thing is just something fun to think about. But like, what actually does he do with the bugs and animals here? I have no possible explanation for them, but hey, just some fun to think about. So Melia was 68 when Soren became emperor. This is pretty self-explanatory, but not many people will know this if they don't like go out of their way to like, go through the menus or do side quests. If they're just basically just straight shot on the story, you may not know this, but in the little affinity menu, it shows like all these different characteristics and traits of each character, and Melia here is actually 88 years old, and it is confirmed in the game that Soren, Melia's father, the emperor of the Hyantia, actually became emperor 20 years before the events of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. So 20 years before, that means Melia was 68 when Soren actually became emperor of the Hyantia. Okay, this one I didn't actually know, and I was like shocked. I was surprised when I found this out. So Ancient Daedala is stronger than Yaldabaoth. If you've played the game, you know that Yaldabaoth is Egil's face Mechon, and Yaldabaoth is the strongest face Mechon ever created. Stronger than Face Nemesis, stronger than Metal Face, stronger than any other Mechon. It is the most powerful face Mechon. But on the Fallen Arm, there is a unique monster named Ancient Daedala, which is just, a giant regular Mechon. And it's actually a hell of a lot stronger than Yaldabaoth. I'm going to have the stats of each on screen, and holy shit, you can see here Ancient Daedala is way stronger than Yaldabaoth. And I actually really found this interesting because I've never fought Ancient Daedala. I didn't even know about Ancient Daedala until doing research for this video. But yeah, a unique monster is stronger than one of the story bosses. It's funny that just a regular little Mechon like this is stronger than the strongest face Mechon, and when the face Mechon are known to be stronger than regular Mechon. So it's just something cool that I didn't actually know about. But yeah, that's going to be it for tier 3 of the Xenoblade Chronicles Iceberg. This was a lot faster than I had originally thought it would have been. The first 2 parts took me like over 6 hours to make, but this one is done in under just an hour. To be fair, it is like the shortest and like easiest tier to cover in the whole iceberg, and I'll have an image up of the whole iceberg right here, so you'll be able to see it. But I mean, I guess also part of the reason is I actually have better equipment now, so I actually have the means to, you know, make these editing processes faster. I have a capture card now, when before in part 1 and 2 I didn't have a capture card, so I wasn't able to put gameplay in the background, whereas you see I can here. So that just makes everything so much easier. But I kind of regret just not finishing this iceberg. I don't know why I stopped, but this is part 3. There's only 2 more tiers left, so I'm just gonna finish this iceberg. So part 4 and 5 of this iceberg should be coming out within like 2 months. Oh, not 2 months, 2 weeks, because next week I'm going to be out of town, so I won't be able to record. But I'm going to be recording a bunch of videos and gameplay to upload them for next week if I want, because I'm trying to keep a consistent daily upload schedule. But yeah, part 4 and 5 are going to be finished. I am finishing this iceberg. I started it and I want to finish, but I highly recommend you go back and watch part 1 and 2, albeit the quality of it, not in terms of resolution, but like this part is a lot more polished and organized. Part 1 and 2 were just kind of all over the place. But yeah, that's really it for this part. The Xenocycle playthrough, oh, I'm having a blast. Please go check that out. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say except for I really do appreciate all of the support so much. I'm about to hit 300 subscribers, when just like 2 weeks ago I was at like 142, and then Xenoblade 3 kind of popped off my channel, so I'm almost at 300. So I'm extremely grateful for all of the support y'all give me. And I do notice I have some regular viewers who are sticking around, so I really do appreciate y'all too. But yeah, that's really about it. I will have the I'm going to have a bunch of links in the description of all the people who have worked on this iceberg. So if you want to, know about all that, go and watch the first part. But that's really about it. I'm gonna have everyone's link down into the description. But yeah, so as always, thanks for watching. Stay safe, be well, and playing some goddamn Xenoblade!